Welcome to your Voice Your Impact show, where authentic voices spark real change and bold conversations lead to lasting impact.
That's right. This is a space where we amplify ideas, celebrate stories, and challenge mindsets, because every voice matters and every story has the power to transform.
Whether you're a dreamer, a doer, a change maker, or someone simply figuring it out, we are here for you. Each week, we bring inspiring guests, thought-provoking conversations, and powerful insights to help you own your voice and leave your impact.
I am the energetic EJ, a life and transformational coach, a podcaster, and an event host. I work with women who are accomplished to turn their success into legacy influence.
Hi, my name is ROI of Learning, but many know me as Scott Unlimited. I'm a seasoned compere and orator par excellence, passionate about connecting people through words and purpose. Beyond the mic, I'm a business intelligence professional driven by insight, strategy, and impact.
My name is Grace So Amazing. I am an integrative life coach. I help my clients align their psychological, social, and physical well-being. I am the founder of Friends Lean On Global Foundation, a non-governmental organization that is centered on educating people about mental and emotional well-being. Like,
subscribe,
and share. Welcome.
Wow. It felt to me like that intro video of ours should just continue running, because I was just amazed about with all the the content and the wonderful people in that video, including myself. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning from the different parts of the world where you are joining us from today. This is, as you already know, Your Voice, Your Impact, a platform where we amplify ideas, where we celebrate stories, and we challenge mindsets. Here, for us here on this show, it's about having impactful, meaningful, and insightful conversations. And thus, if you are joining us today, it means you are somebody who is interested in something like that. You're interested in growth. You're interested in ideas that could literally transform your life. And that is exactly what we will be bringing for you today on another episode of Your Voice, Your Impact. As you already know, my name is Scott Unlimited, Scott Afolabi, aka Scott Unlimited. And it is my pleasure, it is my honor to be your host today. Thank you for joining. And if you can see me and hear me clearly from wherever you're joining from, kindly put in the comment section a thumbs up. Let me know that my engineering is engineering. That will go a long way so that you do not miss anything. Kindly put in the comment section, a thumbs up so that I can be certain that you hear me and you can see me clearly. All right, without further ado, let me start the conversation. And to do that, I would like to briefly introduce my guest. Of course, every week we have inspiring guests for you. And our guest for today is not just a guest. He is a friend of mine. He is a brother of mine. He's someone I've known for close to a decade. And I can confidently vouch for him that, he is a loaded guy. He is he's a very valuable guy. The topic we're talking about, turning self-investment into wealth. He is a guy that I know for sure his journey and how much self-investment he has made in himself, how much his pathway of growth. And, yes, I can see the comments coming. Thank you. We can hear. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's perfect. Thank you. For others that are joining as well, please put a comment in put a comment. Let me know that you can also hear me. All right. Thank you. So as I was saying, my guest today is someone whom I know how much of self-investment he often does in himself, and how he has been able to transform that into wealth. He's a family guy. He's he's in terms of career. Anyway, let me not spill the tea too much. Let me bring him on board so that by himself he can tell you about himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me, Mr. Philip Adigwe.
Hello,
Mr. Phil.
guys. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Yeah,
Good
thank you for having me in
afternoon.
your
Good
show.
morning.
Yeah.
Mr. Fuse, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Your Voice, Your Impact show.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you for having me here.
You're most
Appreciate it.
welcome. As a matter of fact, a lot of people, when they saw the flyer, they were telling me like, hey, why didn't you and Philip do this all along? I said, well, as you know, there is always a time for everything. The best time to plant a tree was
Yesterday.
complete it, Phil. Was
yesterday.
And the other best time is
today.
today. Yes, of course. And yes, you hear it first. So let's start the conversation, Mr. Adigwe. Could you please tell our viewers, like, for anyone watching today, why should they, who are you, and why should they listen to you on this subject of turning investment into wealth?
Well, like you already rightly introduced, my name is Philip, and I'll just do like a brief, quick 1 minute introduction about myself and my career. So my name is Philip, started from a very, very humble beginning in Nigeria, Surulere. My first degree was in engineering, and I did engineering for a very short period of time, for about 3-4 years, and I started getting bored of engineering for many reasons. I was in a very niche field of engineering that was called. Can you hear me clearly, Scott?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm muted, so you can,
Oh, okay. Awesome. So I started in a very niche field of engineering called telecoms engineering, where I would do cross-connecting, fiber optics, microwave technology. And it was so monotonous for me, It was interesting while it lasted, and somehow, I like telling this story because now I do marketing. So one day I was sitting in my office, my ladder was next to me near my office, and one of my friends, I'll never forget his name. I don't know if he's watching, maybe I'll share the video with him. His name is Dele Mapu, and he called me. I was in Nigeria back then, working in Oyinjolayemi, Victoria Island, and he called me and he said, hey Philip, Kia Motors in Nigeria, they are looking for somebody who can do SEO. And can you do it? Then in my life, that was around 2013, 2014-ish. I've never heard of SEO in my life. I'm like, small thing, I go drum now, small thing. So, and I mean, that brings me to the first point. Never say no to any offer. Say yes and go back and reset it. So he said, okay, don't worry, they'll call you now. Give them your number, they'll call you now. So it dropped the call, and I went online and I Googled SEO, search and I said, what the hell is this? I get brain. I'll go read them. I'll read it in like 3-4 hours, and I should be able to do any work they ask me to do. Moreover, I'm an engineer. So basically, I read through that, and it was interesting, It was very, very interesting. And I couldn't stop. I just kept reading and reading. From there, I started learning other parts of digital marketing. And within a period of 1 year, I became like, I considered myself a master in digital marketing, not because without experience, though, I just knew it. So I went for an interview with, there was this real estate company. I think Jumia, so I can't remember. I went for an interview there. I got the job immediately out of about maybe 500 or 1,000 people to apply for the job. I'm like, oh, so I'm good enough now. And so that basically I took myself from there in 2015, went through a lot of things, and now I'm here. I'm in the United Kingdom now, and I'm heading the department of a multinational company. So I'm here to basically share my journey and how investing in myself, investing in my skills have grown me from where I used to be to where I am now.
Amazing. So you've heard it. This is someone who was basically, without using any fancy words to describe who he was, is literally one of those guys that you see around your street carrying ladder to connect, wire for telecom communications like MTN. And just by investing in himself, he has been able to go from being that guy to someone who is not even before you are, heading before where you are now. Back in Dubai, you were also, when you were at Marriott, if I remember vividly, you were also holding a leadership role for such a prestigious organization. Am I correct?
Yeah,
and now from there,
I work with Marriott regional office, a corporate role for Marriott International.
and then from there to the United Kingdom, heading a multinational team. Thank you for that introduction, Mr. Philip. Moving forward, let me ask you this. So when we say investment or say self-investment, I think the first thing that comes to people's minds nowadays would be maybe money, maybe opening a Roth IRA or similar investments, or maybe buying crypto, right? But in your own world, in your own experience, how would you describe self-investment, and what kind of self-investments brings about the greatest ROI? Please share that with us.
So, in summary, what I'll say, how I'm going to describe self-investments, anything that you put in your time, your energy, your money, and your resources to make your future more comfortable. So that's going to be a summary of what self-investment is. So basically, I'm not sure who the audience I'm speaking to, the clientele of the audience. So if you're more African, or if you're more, because our realities are a little bit different, So if you are a person coming from a very humble beginning, there's no two ways in the 21st century to go from 0 to 100 faster than self-investment in skills. Not just skills, in-demand skills that are in demand and that the market is vying for, the market is waiting for. You sharpen your skills and you get paid handsomely for it. So basically, in summary, again, anything that you invest your time, energy, and money to have a more comfortable future.
Right. So when we say skills, there are still people who have invested in different skills, both in demand and not in demand. As a matter of fact, there's been a huge PR lately for skills, invest in skills, da. But then, even despite investing in such skills, they are still, let me say, invincible. In today's market, what form of, investment or self-investment do you think would increase visibility without screaming for attention, and still bring the right kind of ROI for people?
Yeah, so there are two ways to answer that question. The first way to answer that question is you don't pursue your passion early on in your career. You pursue an in-demand skill. So if you pursue a passion that does not have a market demand, you're just doing a hobby. It's just a hobby for you. So there has to be demand for your skill in the market, in the world, that people are willing to pay for before you go into that skill. That's number one. Then the second part of your question, how not to become invisible. So there are soft skills and there are hard skills. So you could be like a cloud engineer today and you're very good at your work, but you realize that a lot of times you go to a corporate environment and you see people that are less skilled as you are getting the promotion. So there are soft skills that you need to understand about in corporate enterprise, or even in world generally. You need to know how to communicate. You need to know how to network. You need to know how to give that soft, without kissing the ass of people, mind me. You just need to know how to get your information across to people softly, just apart from the hard skills.
Okay, all right. I get you. And that makes a lot of sense, because it's like when you build a car, and you don't build, no matter how nicely you build the car, if you don't build, the right engine into it, it's definitely either not going to sell or it's not even going to move at all, right? So when even though you're building skills, but you're not building the right skills that are in demand, like you heard from Mr. Adigwe, Mr. Phil, it is just an hobby. And even if you build an in-demand skill, which is, you know, a core skill or technical skill, and you don't still invest in yourself as a person, yeah, it's still not going to fly somehow. Now, Mr. Philip, let me ask you this. How do you now think, if you want to build a core skill, a technical skill, like you made a reference to cloud computing, I can easily go into it, you know, I can easily subscribe to someone to tutor me, or, you know, just pay for a workshop or things like that, right? But how would you, for example, in your own personal experience, as someone who has grown through self-investment, how would you say, you know, what are the things that has helped you to build your own soft skill as a person?
Well, I mean, when you look at learning a skill, there's a problem. I think, should I call it a problem? A lot of people buy skills, they buy courses online to learn a skill, to learn something new, but they end up not applying what they've learned. You know, so if you keep buying courses, watching them, and not applying them, not going to do what you've learned, you are just entertaining yourself. You know, you are not improving yourself. That's entertainment. So the most important thing is discipline. You know, you have to, if you want to learn, because there are so many resources online. YouTube there's what we call YouTube University. There's Udemy. There's Coursera, and a lot of places you can learn online. There are boot camps everywhere you can see. But when you take a course, give yourself time, implement the things you've learned. Practice make perfection, because you know your muscle memory, once you start practicing things, you just keep remembering. Once you implement the things you've learned, keep practicing. I mean, I don't see any way you can get better at what you've learned. So it's just about discipline on implementation.
Okay. Now, in your journey, as of where you are today, right? Which self-investments are you making in today's world, you know, in today's current economy and career space, that you feel like, okay, it's paying off now, or will pay off in the future, will bring about the best ROI in the future?
Well, there are two ways to look at it. So first, in my career field, I'm tilting towards AI, artificial intelligence, because we live in the world of artificial intelligence. So there's nothing you cannot do with artificial intelligence. There's nothing you can do now. So I'll give you an example. I mean, artificial intelligence has eaten across almost every industry and every vertical of career. So you have to look at yourself. In my industry, where is artificial intelligence coming into play? You know, and how do I implement it? What I do now, there's a very big issue within the hospitality space that has been bothering me for over 5, 6, 7 years, and absolutely nobody has come up with a solution to that. So when AI came into place, and I've been thinking about how do I use AI to solve this problem. So recently, I just don't want to, I mean, this is a public forum. But I've built a solution that is solving this problem massively at scale. Now, what I'm thinking to myself, like, how do I expand this across my industry, you know, because I know a lot of marketers in my industry are also having this pain. So your ability to use AI to solve pressing need, a valid issue that people are actually facing. That's number one. Then the second one is outside of the technical skills, you have to look at the monetary skill. How are you learning to improve your life? I mean, I'm not going to work for long. And since moving to the UK, I've started learning a lot about insurance, life insurance. I've started learning a lot about work insurance. Basically, if you're out of work, something that is going to help you. And it's something that a lot of Africa don't really talk about, especially when it comes to debt, you know. My dad was here and I was having this discussion. Everybody's going to pass away. Everybody's going to die at one point or the other, but we are not sure when or how it's going to happen. Well, how do you prepare yourself? How do you prepare yourself to that? So having that insurance protects you, protect your family, protects your children in case of any eventuality in life, basically. So I mean, the technical side is there, the monetary side is there in terms of there are different types of insurance you can actually start talking about, but I don't know if we have the time to do that.
Oh, we definitely have the time to do that because that now this conversation is already gradually going to different layers, and you somehow brought up one of the most interesting topics of today's, like it's everywhere now: AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Now, as someone who does not know anything about artificial intelligence, and I want to invest in myself to be ahead of the game, to to be current, and to be proficient in my field, how can I identify what kind of artificial intelligence to to invest in, that you, from your experience or from your network, or what you've seen around, is definitely going to bring about a good ROI in not long from now?
Well, artificial intelligence is not like they're different type. It's we just have the LLMs, basically the large language models that have crawled the entire web, understand medicine, understand engineering, understand arts and everything. And so we live in a creative world now. The founder of OpenAI said, he said, we are going to experience the first $1 billion company. It's coming, So the only limitation you have now is your creativity, is your mindset. So how creative are you to solve a problem? So you don't need technical skills. We have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Perplexity, we have Cloud. There's tons of them. So it's just your creativity and inputting it in your industry, in the LLM, to find a solution to a problem you're having.
Okay. And how would you say that, how would you say that you are using these tools to amplify your own self in your field, or like, what are the other things that people do not know that these tools can do for us, but that they can actually do?
The tools can build websites in 3 minutes. The tools can do research for you, deep research that you are going to pay a consultant. People used to pay consultant for thousands of dollars for. The tools can do your reporting and analytics for you, can analyze large data of report. The tools can make paintings for you. You can sell painting, sell digital products on eBay or anywhere. So there are so many things the tools can do for you that they are so unlimited.
Right. So basically you're saying that as someone who wants to invest in themselves, one of the right places to look at in today's world is in artificial intelligence. Why? Because it's going to pay off in different ways, because it can do a lot of things that, the only thing that can limit you from getting the returns on whatever investment you make into improving yourself in artificial intelligence is your own imagination. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. That makes perfect sense. Now, bringing it all together, you see, you've also made mention of one thing that is very crucial now: wealth. Everybody needs money, right? And of course, not everyone has the exposure to artificial intelligence, right? And not everyone also wants to even be in artificial intelligence. So
Absolutely.
For such people, what other kind of investments can they put into themselves? I know we've mentioned soft skills. I know we've mentioned, core technical skills. We've even deviated into artificial intelligence a little bit. But of course, there can be more. So what else, would you suggest or recommend for people who wants to invest in themselves?
So, I think you're asking two questions. You're asking what I'll recommend for people who want to invest in themselves, and what I'll recommend for people who want to build wealth. So there are two different questions here. And to build wealth, it's just economics 101, demand and supply. Is there a demand for your product or your service? Yes. Go into it, they're going to get money. How do you continue making money or retain money in that industry? Is discipline and consistency. For example, I go to somewhere in Ibadan, somewhere in Nigeria, and start a poultry. I know there are hotels, there are restaurants, and I start doing layers. There's demand for the eggs, and I'm selling the eggs. I'm going to make money because it's just a market. That's how market dynamics work. So if you find a niche in whatever industry it is and you see that there's demand, I mean, you don't have to love what you do. It doesn't, like, remember I made a comment about passion. You know, when you're pursuing passion that has no demand, just a hobby, you know. But when you pursue passion that has demand, it becomes a business. So Dangote does not like making sugar. I'm not sure Dangote has ever mixed sugar in his life, but he has sugar. He has the biggest sugar. Dangote does not. He probably does not even know the chemical ingredients of cement. But because there's a demand for it, it goes into the business, and now it's into petroleum. So understanding market dynamics and pursuing it, following the trend, is what's going to give you money. And in terms of investing in yourself personally, the most important thing is discipline and consistency. So don't start one thing today, leave it after 2 weeks, after 1 month. I'm not sure. Don't start another thing, leave it. Just, you know, keep starting something and leaving it. And there's something we also call analysis and paralysis. You know, you keep analyzing and analyzing. Oh, will people buy this with this? Just don't think about that. Just do it, and you're going to learn along the way.
Okay, all right. I can actually, you know, relate to that. As someone whom, if you can remember, some years ago when we started YouTube, I think that was in 20, you know, many years ago. And
2020, 2021, I think.
No, it was 2018 or 2019 when we start. Yeah, I think it was 2019 when we started YouTube. And, you know, I was trying to think about and I was trying to think about it like, so me, what can I be doing on YouTube, you know? And you know, we came up with the idea of posting cats and dogs, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I don't even like dogs.
And you have like 2,000 followers or so.
6,000, like it's almost more than 7,000 followers.
Subscribers, yeah.
So you do not, this is a very valuable advice. You do not really like to, you don't need to like what you do. You don't need to just focus on investing in yourself in alignment with your passion only.
Yeah.
As long as, you know, even if it's your passion and there is a demand for it, by all means, what we're saying here is go for it and be consistent about it. And in line with that, you can build wealth. It's going to bring you the right ROI. Yeah. But if it's a passion, but there is no demand for it, it's better to put passion in one side first and foremost, and focus on, you know, things that are in demand, things people need, that solves an actual problem that you can now eventually scale. Now, Mr. Fields, there is a saying that there is too many advisors and, you know, very few helpers. Do you understand? And I would like to touch on that. So in today's world, what kind of what's one popular self-investment advice you think is overrated or misunderstood?
Misunderstood. That's
or overrated.
I think networking is overrated. You know, people say you need to go out and network and meet people. I think it's overrated, because what I realized that a lot of people coming to networking events are looking for helpers. So if one helper meet another helper, who is going to help who? You know, everybody like, oh, maybe I'm going to meet one Dangote, I'm going to meet somebody that's going to give me a job. You know, I think networking events are overrated. And however, personal branding is what I think is the next big thing. So you need to have a voice out there. You need to have a voice on social media. You have to have a voice on LinkedIn. People need to know you as an expert in your industry. So personal branding is the next big thing, if not already the big thing now. Like people like Mr. Beast already, you know him on YouTube.
Right. So this is now you've opened another layer to this conversation. So now I think this is another kind of self-investment that a lot of people can be leaning towards to help themselves, you know, build wealth. So can you tell us more about, you know, personal branding, like you mentioned that it's the next big thing, or even not the big thing?
If you look around, every industry, people are moving towards. Personally, somewhere I struggle with, I'm still like, I'm camera shy. I don't want to come out a lot and talk on camera. But just look around. If you look at Sam Altman, OpenAI, they're employing a personal writer for the CEO paying as much as $500,000. If you look at Tony Elumelu of UBA, people are not following UBA; they are following Tony Elumelu. If you look at what's his name, Otedola, people know Otedola. They don't. If you ask people what company is Otedola the owner of today, most people don't even know it's First Bank Holding, but they know Otedola. So everything is moving towards personal branding. People will follow you and do what you. Obi Kubana, for example, masterpiece of personal branding. I don't know, maybe I know only one of his businesses, Hospitality Cubana Group. I don't know, he has maybe 20 other businesses, I don't know. But personal branding, because of personal branding, is able to sell whatever business it touches. People follow the personality of the brand and not the brand in general. So I think personal branding is the next big thing.
Okay. Personal branding. Now, for people who are, watching us today, I think I would like to, at this point, touch on the things that we have talked about so far that you can actually invest in to bring about, your growth. And of course, like we mentioned in the title, wealth. We've talked about core skills. We've talked about, soft skills, investing in who you are as a person, like things like communication. How do you communicate? How do you interact with people in wherever, space you find yourself? And we've gone further to also, according to Mr. Phil, is recommending artificial intelligence, being, as proficient as possible, being much familiar with artificial intelligence and the oga patapata of them all, which is personal branding. Whatever you do, without you having your signature on it, without you having a recognition for it or being known as someone in that space who is actually reliable, then, this is something worth looking into. Who are you beneath, beyond just whatever that you do? Who are you, and why should people be able to trust you to come to you, like such that whenever anything relating to what you do is mentioned, before they can mention 3-4 people, your name will come up, especially in your circle, right? So these are the kind of self-investments that we are talking about today. And moving forward, Mr. Phil. Now, at what point, you as a person, let me bring it back to you now. At what point did you realize that wealth isn't just income, and wealth isn't just income, but leverage?
The truth is, the true wealth is optionality. If you don't have optionality, I won't say you're not well, but you're coming up. But true wealth is optionality. So the ability to say, okay, you have your own business. I don't feel like doing this today. I want to travel to Bali. I work from Bali. I don't go to work today. Nobody's calling me and asking for my report. When you have that optionality, the freedom. And how do you have the optionality for people like us? Outside of your 9 to 5, you need to invest in some core things. Invest in stocks. Have friends I have a friend in the United States who is doing real estate, bringing people together, do investments in real estate, and build and sell. You have friends that call you there are different things. You just have, the idea is to have multiple stream of income. If you can even invest back home in Nigeria, you can start Airbnb business in Nigeria or in UAE, in Dubai, for example, have your multiple stream of income. So when you have that optionality, you are not tied to anything. That's what I call true wealth. And for me, I would say I'm nearing my true wealth of optionality. I want to be able to, because you and I know, we've been discussing this a long time. The true freedom of wealth is when you are out of 9 to 5 completely. And I'm waiting for that day to come, hopefully very soon, inshallah, so I can say I have my full optionality now, 100%.
Okay, so basically what you mean to say is that what you're saying is the comfort to be wherever you are, even though you're not present in your at your job or your 9 to 5, or even in your business, there's still money coming in, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
for you as a person, how have you been able to, what kind of leverage would you suggest that people have? Not everyone has the skill to, or the experience to. Not everyone knows about this optionality and things. So can you tell us more about how we can also tap into that?
Yeah, the best leadership is not the person that can do everything. I cannot do everything. Even with AI, I cannot do everything. The best leadership is the person that comes with the vision, sticks with the vision, and be able to influence people to follow that vision. So I've started a few businesses, and I've even started one very recently. And what do I do most of the time? Because I have my 9 to 5 and I don't have the time to do a lot of these things, or I might not even be the best person to do it. So I outsource it. I employ people back home in Nigeria to do this thing for me, and I pay them market rate salaries. So having that optionality and the vision to say, okay, I want to do this. I'm not the best at doing it, but I can outsource this. I can pay someone to this, or I can do it, but I don't have the time to do it. But I need to test the waters, test the ground. So that leadership ability to outsource and allow people to manage some aspects of your business.
Right, I get it. That's and that's really profound, because when you go from it's always it's a dream come true, right? It's a prayer that I even hear often, that you will go from being an employee to being an employer.
Well, it's a very scary place to be, actually, because when you become an employer and your business starts to grow, you start realizing, oh, it's scary. I don't know if you've experienced it. You now employ 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. So 4 families are depending on me. If anything happens, what's going to happen? It's a scary place to be, and but it's also an exciting institution.
That's so I think that makes a lot of sense, because but that's also a ground for discipline and growth, right?
Yeah.
Because when you know that, okay, man, at this point I cannot mess up, because if I mess up, 3-4 families could go, things could go wrong for several other people, just because of my own my own mistake, right? You feel
Correct.
that? Okay. So, Mr. Philip, so if someone has, let's say, let me use your currency now. If someone has, say, 500 pounds, with them today, or say 1 free hour daily, now, how would you recommend that they invest that for maximum long-term return on anything?
Well, I'm not a financial consultant, so anything I say, please don't take it. Don't take it off camera. Don't say that Philip said it. But I mean, there are tons of things you can do with 500 pounds, depending on the amount of risk you are willing to take. If you want to do very, very, very risky thing, you might say you want to invest in cryptocurrency. I'm not recommending that. If you want to be a little bit, safe, you can do S&P 500 crypto. S&P stocks and shares and stuff. But in this time that we live now, I can say one of the best thing I can advise anybody to do, but it depends again on your core skills. If you don't have the skills, and this is what I can advise anybody to do because it's my industry. You can pay for, there's a tool called Go High Level. Go High Level is a marketing automation platform. It contains everything. You can build websites in one go. You can build chatbot inside of it. You can build follow-up automation that send SMS and emails automatically. There's so many things you can do inside. You can just do so. And if I do, the tool is going to cost about $270 per month. You can start with a cheaper version, but the $270 gives you unlimited of everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out and look for high-ticket items, like businesses that sell high-ticket, like say like 1,000, 2,000. For example, I am beauty clinics. I want to do, there's some beauty treatment is about $1,000 upward. I look for this here. I say, okay, I'm going to give you leads. I'm going to give you, let's say, 20 leads a month, 30 leads. Out of this 20 leads a month, I'm going to convert maybe 5, and you're going to pay me $500 a month. and they are the one that are going to run their ad. So what am I going to do? I'm going to set up my Go High Level, set up a landing page. When people submit their lead, immediately you are submitting your lead. I set up automation on the back end. Go High Level is going to send you an SMS. Thank you for sending your lead. Somebody's going to contact you shortly. Immediately are sending you. If you are still interested, reply yes or something. They reply you. So this is hot lead. The customer or my client is getting this hot lead. They are following up and they are converting these leads and they're happy. I'm happy. So if I get 10 businesses that are doing this and I invested, let's say $200 for a month, or let's say I don't get any good conversion within 2 months, I invested $400 and my clients get 10 leads. I've made $5,000 with my 400. So I say, because of it's my industry, I think this is one of the cheapest way you can do. Another thing you can do is you can sell digital product if you have a skill, if you have a knowledge that you know you can share that the people, because, and when I say skill, it doesn't have to be a very cheap PDF. Information is everywhere. People can get information now on Google, AI summaries, ChatGPT, anywhere. So it has to be something valuable that has a tangible return. You know, it might be a coaching session, it can be anything. So anything that has a tangible return that people can see and feel, you can sell it online and get people pay you continually.
Right. So this is something I'm sure a lot of people should be writing down, be taking their pen and paper. Even me, I'm definitely going to rewatch this episode to make sure that I grab all this that you just shared, because of course this is coming from someone who knows his onions in this kind of field. And I'm sure that if you're looking to make extra money, if you're looking to escape the rat race, the 9 to 5, like we mentioned initially, this is probably one of the places that you should be looking into. So, Mr. Philip, let me squeeze you a little bit further. What else do you think, can you recommend apart from this source? Are there any?
I mean, with $500, the only thing you can do, it has to be within the digital space. I don't think you can do. I think I lost you a bit. Are you there, Mr. Scott? Hello, I think I lost you.
I'm back. Sorry,
Yeah.
my village people
I was
came.
like, NEPA don't take light.
My village people came visiting. Excuse me, please. I that was a technical fault,
Yeah,
but I'm glad to be back. So back to the conversation, Mr. Philip.
yeah.
So I'm sure you were already answering. So let me leave the mic with you.
Yeah, so you were asking me what else could we do with $500? That was the question, correct?
Well, it doesn't have to be $500. I said, 500. If someone has £500 or has like 1 free hour daily,
Yeah.
yeah, in that line.
I mean, another thing I'm going to recommend is starting a faceless YouTube channel. I've never done it, but I know people are doing it. I mean, the data say people are doing it and they're making money out of it. So, for example, sorry about that, my baby's crying. So, you have 1 hour. You have 1 hour a day, and you have 500. So you can start a faceless YouTube channel. So there are many tools in the market. One of the best tools in the market is called ARCADS, ARCADS. I'm not sure if you heard about it.
No.
Just give me a minute. Sorry about that.
Totally
So,
fine. We understand.
yeah, I have a baby in the house. So, you have the arcades. Arcade is the best in the industry.
So to our viewers, it is this is what you get as a father, so
Yeah,
it's
I'm sorry.
inevitable. I'm sure you can
Yeah.
understand.
So arcade is the best in the industry. It has the most realistic video. I mean, we have Sora 2, we have VO3, Gemini VO3, but everywhere, as per industry specialists, people say arcade is the best. It's quite pricey. It's going to cost you about $10 per video. But personally, if instead of starting a complete faceless YouTube channel, I would rather my mathematical head is thinking, why don't I use the same faceless channel to start a TikTok shop? So I would rather use that faceless model or whatever it's called to start a TikTok shop promoting physical product that people sell. And you can even automate it. Now you can use N8N to automate the process, connect it to your Sora 2, and it's just shooting out like 5, 6, 7 videos a day,
Wow.
and you can never
Is
tell
that even
which one.
possible?
Yes, very absolutely possible. It's going to cost you about $1 per video.
How do we do that for people who might want to invest in something like this?
So you need to, number one, know how to build with anything. I mean, even if you don't know how to build with anything, you can use AI. It's readily available for everywhere. So you connect it through the API, either Sora 2 or VO3. Connect it through the API, give it your prompts, give it your product. It's going to create the video of whatever character you want, even your face, marketing that product. And you can never tell which one is going to go viral. You can have a video that's going to get 1 million views, 2 million views, and people start buying. Consider so it gives you like steady, consistent profit, maybe $300, $500, even $1,000 monthly, as long as you're dishing out these videos and people are buying.
Right. Okay. This, I'm sure everyone who joined today must have taken something of value out of the conversation that we've had so far. And of course, from my end, I would like to let our viewers know that we had to pull Mr. Philip away from one of his core responsibilities that we all align to, and that is father duties. So, Mr. Philip, let me use this opportunity to really say thank you for making our time, because I know how the day is going for you to still be here. So let's just sum this up. So if you are to just describe for us, like, if you are to summarize, to round up, if you are to summarize the ultimate ROI of self-investment in one sentence, what would it be?
I would say for anybody listening, there's never been an easier time in human history to make money. This is the easiest time since before Jesus Christ to make money. Anybody with a smartphone, internet, and with a little bit of guts can easily make tens of thousands of dollars monthly. So I don't want anybody to look around and say, okay, I'm coming from this kind of background. I'm lacking this, I'm lacking that. It's irrelevant. Anybody, anywhere can make money. I started a business recently. In fact, I'm not going to mention the business here, but I'm just going to tell you how I started it. I was building something for another product that I mentioned earlier about server-side tracking. While building that product, I used AI to solve a problem of building that product. And I told myself, wait a minute. So this thing I did, I can actually sell it. And the same day, in my living room where I'm sitting now, I went online on Google. I just got some leads, about 50 leads, started sending WhatsApp message to all of them. That same day, I got 3 people that paid me £249 each. And this is just something that I just thought about, sat down, within 1-2 hours, I was getting people that wanted to pay me. So wherever you are on planet Earth, in Africa, there's no better time to make money. Invest your time. If you have to learn a skill, learn a skill. There's YouTube there. There are tons of videos, and whatever industry you want to face, whatever vertical you want to focus on, watch tons of YouTube videos and I'm sure the sky is going to be your limit.
All right, so this brings us to the end of today's episode of Your Voice, Your Impact. You've heard it from here. There is no need to. As a matter of fact, you don't have an excuse. We don't have an excuse because this applies to me too. If your aim, it's a new year. We are all looking to have the best year. We are praying. We are, putting into different things into plans and all. But self-investment is key, right?
Lost you for a minute.
All right. Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Again, this my network today is not really on my side. Anyways, right. Let's, Mr. Philip. Once again, thank you for being part of the show. And
thank you for having me.
Sorry.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for sharing all those nuggets and way out for all of us to make wealth. All right. Till we come on your screen again. Of course, next week EJ, the energetic or Grace So Amazing, will be here with you. And from us to you, we are wishing you a happy Valentine in advance. So till next time, thank you for joining.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Where is EJ?